Alright, what we got here is the Zanflare C4 battery charger. If that's how you pronounce it, I don't know. 4 different charge current options. 300 milliamp, 500 milliamp, 700 milliamp, 1000 milliamp. And I will tell you that those aren't valid for all the options that it does. USB rechargeable. Don't know what that means. It's funny when you get stuff on eBay, Amazon, there's no UPC code. Shenzhen, China, blah, 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 blah. I could have swore this had a car option. No, you know what? That was an option on some for an extra one, which was basically a waste of money. Shoot, as you see, I don't have my camera. I don't have my flashlight to read this stuff. Let's see. I'm using the other flashlight. My other phone is a flashlight. Oh, those are your options, your output options, your voltage, and your currents. That 5-volt 2-amp is, I think it has a USB port on the back. Actually, I know it does, but I'm just saying I think it does. I've never used it. What does that say? Oh, model C4. All right. All right, so anyway, one thing that is kind of annoying about this that I kind of forgot about is, yeah, the cable's really short. And that's why I'm sitting on the floor, because the cable doesn't reach to where I need it to reach. It's too short. That's annoying. All right, so this will charge a multitude of lithium-ion batteries, NiCads, I believe. I don't think it's supposed to support, what is it, what are those things, LiPo or something? It supposedly doesn't support those. I don't know. Maybe because they're a different voltage. I'm sure if you throw them on there, it'll charge them. It just won't know when they're done because they're a wrong voltage. So anyway, you put this on here, and then through the front button here, you can choose how fast to charge that. Say you're charging, and then the button up here, you can change. Oh, that's the display, what it's doing. This other button decides what the charge thing will be. That's a fast test where I believe it drains it and then charges it. A NOR test, I believe, drains, charges, drains, and charges. Or maybe it charges, drains, charges. I think that's more of it. Let's get that to reset again. Okay. You know, a fast test, your only options are 300 and 500. NOR test, I think it's the same, 300, 500. Straight up charge is where you can go to 1,000. When that thing stops blinking, this is now set. This option here shows you, you know, with the voltage of the battery, resistance of the battery, how long it's been charging for, our current, that's the present voltage, and what's it want, a milliamp. This will show after it's done charging how many milliamps the battery took. That's how you can, you would have to do, not a straight up charge, you got to do a drain charge. So what was it, it was this test. Oh, sorry. This test. The fast test and the XOR test. What it'll do is it completely drains it, and then it charges from empty to full, and it'll tell you how many milliamps that the battery took. If this is a 2200 milliamp battery, it should display 2200 when it's done. If it's a 2600, it should say 2600. But you know, batteries get crappy over time, and it won't work out such as that. The other annoying thing about this, I mean, it's annoying, but you can get over it, is when you throw a bunch of batteries in. See, I'm going to change this to 1,000 amps. Then I threw another battery in there, and I want to change that to a. You want to change the. I'll see. Oh, that's one of my bad batteries. When you go to, you see what it's doing. When you get another battery in there, the milliamps are off, so you have to reset all the batteries at once to get them to the 500. You see how it just changed equally? This battery is bad. I might have to rip off the protection circuit off it to get it to charge. This is can you see that there's a different? Yeah, you can see this is a different height. You can see these batteries. You can see the black one is slightly longer because this top piece is a protection circuit. I think I have to cut that off to get that battery to charge up. And you'll see that there should be a line going down. I think it's right there. Is it right there? Yeah, there's a line. This feeds up to the protection circuit. It feeds the negative side up to the protection circuit. Or is it the positive side? That's a positive lead, believe it or not. Because if it shorts to the case, it'll just fry. So yeah. Anyway. Otherwise, this is pretty cool. It'll do, if you do the, if you put 4 in there and just do charge, it'll do all 4 at 1 milliamp. At 1 amp, I mean. 1 amp. 1,000 milliamp is 1 amp. Of course, if you're not fast enough, you might have to just do this. Do that to all of them as they're in there. Then as you change this, it'll go across and change with each one of them. That's the only annoying part. I mean, you can't do this to get by that, so it's not really that big of a deal. It takes you like a second to overcome it. Okay, and supposedly there's a USB port there. Supposedly that's a 2 amp port. Never used it. Have no use for it. I really don't like using USB ports on things that really weren't made for it, because if you start charging an iPhone or something that's at zero battery life, you tend to burn out USB ports that aren't made to run at their max. Just because something it'll say it'll do 2 amps doesn't mean it will. Lots of things are very cheap, especially USB ports. I learned that from Bitcoin mining, where you tend to max out the port. You max out everything with Bitcoin mining because you want everything to go perfect. And you find out a lot of things do not hit their specs. They're cheap garbage. And most USB ports, you put a dead iPhone on there, it will burn that port out. It will burn it out. Because that's when the iPhone is draining the most current, and that'll tack out those ports. It'll burn the port, or it'll melt your cable. It'll make your cable desolder itself. It's about the worst thing you could do is draining an iPhone down to 0. So anyway, this is the C4 battery charger. It's pretty cool doing 4 batteries at once. You know, it does the big one, or it'll do double A's, triple A's, you know, all your normal batteries. It'll also do, this is an 18650, it'll do that, and it'll do all the other weirdo 3.7 volt batteries, except for it supposedly won't charge LiPos, which I think it will do. I think LiPos are 3.2 volt or something, where it's not going to know that it's, the way it knows it's done charging is it gets up to the correct voltage. Where LiPos are not 3.7, they're not 1.5, so the thing doesn't know when to stop charging. These, an 18650, even though it's a 3.7, these things I believe stop charging at 4.2 volts. It's 4 point something. So a LiPo that's a 3.2 will never get up to that voltage, so you're not supposed to charge them in there. That's probably what the deal is. It'll just start heating up. I'm sure if you kept your eye on it, kept your eye on the current that's going in. Like, see, this is already it's already putting that much current in. If you kept your eye on it, I'm sure you could charge up LiPos. Anyway, that's that.